On today's episode, we are going to be swapping out the front end and headlight assembly on this C1500 from this headlight assembly and grill over to this headlight assembly and grill. Let's go ahead and get started. God bless you and welcome to More Motorsports Garage. So, as you heard the intro, we're going to be swapping this headlight assembly and grill over to the other style. I'm going to show you how to do all that, what you're going to need, and everything that I use in this video will be linked in the description. And we're just going to go ahead and get straight into it. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you're new here, please click that subscribe button and hit that like button while you're at it. Let's go. All right, so here's the stuff you're going to need, and I always recommend soldering. This one will be linked in the description. You push the button, it feeds the solder automatically, but any solder iron will work. I recommend some heat shrink because you will have to cut and splice connectors in. Now I got these two 9005 and two 9006 low and high beam pigtails and the two side markers at Pickers in Reno, Texas. If you go out there, it's right outside Paris, Texas. Tell them that More Motorsports Garage sent you and you'll get a discount on your purchase. So we also got some bulb grease, which I always recommend, and some extra wire just in case we need it. We've got a socket set, just a basic socket set should work. As long as it has a 7mm, you should be good. Phillips head, something to cut wires, and the bumper filler. I got brand new headlights, which they just have your standard bulbs in them, but they will be upgraded to LED. And no, it's not the LEDs that blind people. It's the fact they aim them up or don't even adjust them when they put them in. So it blinds people. Whether that has LEDs or the normal bulbs, you need to make sure they're level. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. So we obviously need the front end grille, which I have this one, and the whole truck will be painted. So I'm not worried about it all being black right now. I'm gonna be color matching it to the whole thing once it's done. But we're gonna go ahead and get this one off first. Now it has 7mm bolt here, 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 here. Then you'll have to use Phillips head to take these out. It has 7mm back there, one right there, and one back in there, which that one doesn't really matter too much because this whole bumper filler will be coming out. And then we've got some on that side, and then this front end will pop out. Then you can disconnect the connectors. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing popped out, and then we'll go from there. All right, now that that is out of the way, you can see the 7mm bolt right there, and it's the same on the other side. And after we get those out, you can see there's a little tab here. You can pull up on it a little bit, and then this grill will actually pull out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those done. All right, now that we've got it off, you can see there is going to be some hardware you will have to transfer over, such as these little plastic clips here for the screws to go in. They will be needed on that grill, along with the back side of these reflectors. As you can see on the back, it has those thread cutting nuts. You will need to transfer those over as well. Now it only has 2 on here, and those require 4 on each side. So you may have to go buy some, which I found some at O'Reilly's thread cutting nut assortment, and it had the ones needed. So if you have those ones, you should be good to go. Just go get a couple extra ones and you're set. Moving over the front end, you can see this bumper filler piece here has a 7mm bolt here, right there, right there, right there, and it's supposed to have one here. So we're gonna go ahead, remove those, and then take this out of the way and replace it with this one, which connects together like that, and then put it in. All right, so comparing them side by side, you don't need to buy that bumper filler if yours looks like this. But if this one is already damaged, you might as well replace it, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that one in. All right, to remove these sealed beams, they just have some Phillips head and some springs, so we're gonna go ahead and remove them. And that's as simple as it is to remove these. All right, after you remove the sealed bulb, you will see that the new headlights mount up perfectly to factory bolt holes, and the bolts you'll need are M6 by 1.0. I have some longer ones, which we will use for right now, but you don't need really long ones. They can be short. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put the one in to hold it in place. All right, now that we got the bulb out of the way, we're gonna move to the wiring, and it's pretty simple on this 98 C1500. We have the brown wire, that is gonna be our low beam, and then the ground will be the black wire, and then the green will be our high beam, and of course the ground is also the black wire. So we have both these connectors here, and the green will go to the green, the black will go to the black, and of course the brown will go to the brown, and the black will go to the black. So that way we'll have our low beam and high beam, which are separate on the new headlight housing. And we're gonna cut, solder, heat shrink, and then we'll be done with that. Then moving on to the park light, I will be tapping the ground and the power into one of these connectors. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get cutting this and get everything soldered up. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and test this one to make sure everything's good. All right, everything looks good. We can go ahead and move on to the park light. All right, moving over to the corner light area, I'm gonna be tapping into one of these. Now it's really simple. This middle wire on this connector is a positive, and this black wire is the negative. Don't mess with the blue wire. I'm just using this connector. So I'm just gonna basically be splicing into it, exposing some wire. Then I'm gonna be wrapping this wire for the positive around it, just like that. Now we're gonna tie in the ground wire. Now I'm gonna go turn the park lights on before we solder, just to make sure it comes on. All right, now that I know it's on, we'll solder it up, and then that'll be done. I went ahead and electrical taped the connection, since on this one I didn't cut the wires, I just spliced and soldered, but this will work perfectly fine. I'm gonna go ahead and get the same thing done to the other side, and then we can get the grill on. All right, I got both headlight assemblies installed, all the wiring's done, and the headlights work low beams and high beams. I also adjusted the headlights. It's really easy to do. It's a Phillips head screw, and you can see it lowers and raises. It's really simple. I got them pretty much level, and it shouldn't be blinding anyone, so now we're ready to put the grill on. But before I install the grill, I wanted to do the little satisfying peel here. Very nice. All right, so here it is outside, looks so good. I like this front end a lot better than the previous one. Now there was nothing exactly wrong with the other front end, but I do like this one better, and I'm probably gonna use that grill and headlight assembly and hang it up in the shop for some art on the wall. It'll be pretty cool once I restore it a little bit. But this front end, I like how it looks once it's all color matched to the vehicle. Now you can't see it now, but once this whole thing is painted exactly as I want it, it'll look really, really good with this front end. So to each their own though. I know not everybody likes this front end, some like the other, and some like this and not the other. But that's the whole point of this, is to show you how to do it. If you want to do it, you don't have to. I'm not saying this is the superior front end or anything like that. But I personally like how it turned out, and it looks pretty good. Also, real quick, I wanted to point out I got a converter here that runs it from 110 power to 12 volt, 50 amp. It can go up to 50 amps with this. I will link it in the description. That's how I'm powering the VEVOR diesel heater, and I don't have to have a car battery to turn it on no more because of this. It's really awesome, works really well. Highly recommend it. So if you didn't watch the VEVOR diesel heater install, this is the piece that I was talking about. You'll have to go watch that. This was the piece I was missing to officially get it properly installed, but now it works absolutely awesome. So in upcoming videos, we have the drop springs and the rear axle flip, which will lower it down. Now I'm not slamming this, I will just be lowering it, and it will still be functional. I am C-notching it, and you don't technically have to do this to lower it a little bit, but I will be C-notching, which actually strengthens the frame a little bit, because this actually bolts in and you can weld it in at the same time. So that'll be really nice to have back there. Just in case for any reason, if I overload the bed, which I usually don't carry too heavy of hauls back there, but if I do, I will have some extra clearance here with the C-notch. So that will be coming out with the drop shackles and the lowering. And then I have these taillights, which I'll install in the next video. They don't light up blue, they light up red. These will look pretty good and replace those old worn out taillights. And I also have the Lingdu mirror dash cam. Now, normally I use Asdome, so I'm gonna be taking review on this one and seeing exactly how good it is, and I'll let you guys know for sure. But that is basically it for this, so definitely stay tuned. There is more stuff coming to the channel, God willing. One last thing I forgot to mention is the door bushings, because the door does not like to shut properly. As you can see, this gap here, if I were to open it and then lift it up, the door moves. It's a typical problem, but I'm going to fix those with these metal bushings and get rid of that plastic bushing that's in there. So I'll have videos coming out on all of this stuff. So if you guys like this kind of content, please subscribe. Recommend it to other people if they have a vehicle like this or other vehicles, which I've done a lot of different vehicles on the channel. We have more content coming out on all of that. So definitely want to stay tuned. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and here's the outro. I just want to let you know that God loves you so much, he sent his only son to be the propitiation for your sin. God is calling you. Time is running out, and he wants you. He loves you, and he'll take you exactly as you are. He doesn't need you to change to come to him. Once you come to him, he will be the change in you. I'm living proof of this, and I don't preach that prosperity gospel stuff, but I can tell you this much. God has moved mountains in our lives, financially speaking, and he has moved our emotional state, all kinds of things, and he can do the same for you. So if you've been going through a really rough time and you just feel like there has to be more to life, there definitely is. So definitely reach out to him. He's reaching out for you, and he wants a personal relationship with you. He doesn't want your religion. He doesn't want your rules and this and that. He just wants your heart. So reach out to him, believe in your heart, confess with your mouth, and you'll be saved. Definitely look more into it. There will be a free Bible download in the description. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.
God bless, stay safe, stay awesome. Jesus loves you.